Dana Bruce was aged 23 when she was last seen on October the 4th, 2008, in the rural town of Sedalia, Missouri. Dana was a single mother of two children that had gone out to a local bar, Malone's on Main, in Sedalia that evening. She was reportedly seen with a man in a late model red Ford F-150 and left the bar with him around 11:30 p.m. The man that she left with wasn't someone that was familiar to others and appeared to be someone she had just met. Bruce was last seen at her children's babysitter's home on that day. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. She was wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel on the front in silver lettering and blue jeans. She never returned home. One of Dana's family members grew concerned because Dana left her kids at the babysitter overnight and that was unusual. Dana's kids were very young at the time she went missing. Dylan was 4 and Destiny was only 2, and they missed their mom dearly. While police have identified the man that Dana was with that evening, he soon traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, and police flew to Atlanta and questioned him when he was arrested there for possession of marijuana and driving while suspended. The man, who has been named as a person of interest, has never been named publicly. It is known, though, that he was a 34-year-old man that worked for Pro Energy in Sedalia. They interviewed him in October of 2008, and he told police that he and Bruce parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. This is the last time any news reports about a suspect is written in the case. She reportedly has no credit cards, debit cards, cell phone, a car, or a checking account, so there hasn't been any activity to trace since she disappeared. Her friends and family claim that she was a devoted parent and would not leave her children, and foul play is suspected. There were a couple of searches for Dana in the months following the disappearance. The police reportedly used scent dogs around the site, and officers combed the area of where the man worked in Sedalia as a pipe fitter and welder at Pro Energy. However, Dana is still not located. Missouri is densely rural area, especially where Dana disappeared. 20 miles away is Knob Noster National Park, which is nearly 4,000 acres park near Whiteman Air Force Base and Warrensburg, Missouri. 40 miles in the other direction is Warsaw, Missouri, which is home to the Harry S. Truman Reservoir, Truman Lake, which is a massive lake with many side areas. SPD Detective Travis St. Cyr is assigned to handle any new tips that come in regarding Dana's disappearance. Even though it has been so long since Dana disappeared, he said SPD still receives the occasional calls. In 2016, a tip took detectives to Springfield to talk to people. Detective Travis said that there were a couple more at the time that they were still following up on. Bruce is described as a devoted parent and who would never abandon her two children willingly. She missed both their birthdays later that October that she went missing, and everyone since then. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. The family is at a loss. There is a Dana Bruce tribute page on Facebook. Dana Jane Bruce is a white female, born on July the 10th, 1985, and is 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighing approximately 100 pounds. She has auburn hair. However, it was colored brown at the roots it was black, and at the ends it was brown, and at the ends it was black at the time of her disappearance. She also had red highlights put in it. She has green hazel eyes and is blind in her left eye, and she has single piercings on each ear. She has a tattoo on her upper left arm of a teddy bear with the word Dylan, and Bruce suffers from an unspecified learning disability. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Anyone with information on the disappearance of Dana Bruce can contact Sedalia Police Department at 660-826-8100, or if you want to remain anonymous, please contact your local Crime Stoppers. Also, if you have any information on this case, you can please contact Q Center for missing persons at 910-343-1131, or you can call the Q Center 24-hour tip line at 910-232-1687. All the information submitted to the Q Center for missing persons is confidential.